Hey everybody!
Hi!
Welcome to the suite.
Yes.
I am your host, April Marie. This is my co-host for the evening, Stephanie Holland.
I was like, am I going to say my name or are you going to say my name?
I know. Hey guys, checking in, mental check-in, emotional check-in.
Live check-in.
Everything. It's like super crazy out there.
It's super crazy right now.
Yeah. There's so much going on. So many people are dealing with so many things. Trying to cope, trying to deal, trying to be okay. And I'm one of them. You know, I have a lot on my plate right now. I don't know if you guys know this, but I am co-owner of All Dolled Up Beauty Bar. And we just expanded our building. So we opened up for the first time with the new tenants and stuff like that this week.
Congratulations.
Thank you. But it's been like taxing mentally, emotionally, financially, everything. Just getting the rebuild done, getting it done in a super timely fashion. Hey, babe.
Aw, hi.
Miss you. See you soon. Getting it done in a super timely fashion, making it beautiful, and just... Hey, Mom.
Hey, Mom.
And just kind of, you know, working while all the stress of everything, hey, Javi, of everything's going on, dealing and managing that. Then still, you know, owning Handle with Care, the brand we're going to speak about tonight. Handle with Care.
I feel like a fembot. Did you ever watch Austin Powers?
Yes. Okay. My brand. And we'll get into that in a minute, but also discussing the fact that I'm taking my hair care brand to one of the biggest shows in the United States, the hair show, and all the pressures of that. So everything that's going on with that, everything that's happening with Hair Honey, everything that's happening with All Dolled Up Beauty Bar, everything that's happening with Handle Her With Care. Oh, yes. Oh, that new tat. Oh, it's right here. Hair Honey.
Hair Honey, can you see it?
It's totally still healing.
Yeah.
And it would be peeling if it was out of this, like, protective layer that they put.
It looks really, like, cool, though.
Yeah.
It looks really good.
Yeah.
Hair Honey.
He did a really good job.
Yeah.
So, like, trying to find ways to decompress and, like, deal with all the stress. I'm still a mom. You know, I'm still out here being a sister. I'm still being a daughter to my parents. I'm still being a sister to my brother. You know, still being a friend to my friends.
An auntie.
Still being a crazy therapist to all of my crazy clients. And
she loves
taking
you.
in all... Oh, yes, I do. Taking in all of what they have to give and what they need from me. Giving. And really not having the time to replenish has been exhausting.
Yeah.
So... that's kind of where I'm at. And I know checking in with you, Steph, because I just did my check-in.
Yeah. It's been a very hectic... I mean, the year alone was a lot.
Yeah.
Like 2020. Like 2020. From March all the way through, right? Was a lot. And then, like this year... Still being a great show host.
Thank you.
Yeah, but then like this year, you know, in 2021, it was like a lot too. I don't really want to go into all the details, but like emotionally, physically, like it was just very taxing, right?
Very.
So I took like a lot of time off from work, like 2 months. I took off from work because my mind like could not handle anymore.
Right.
And I had to take... Mom was saying to us in the next room. So I had to take time.
Yeah.
Because after this last year and then the beginning of the year of last year, like I was a substitute teacher, but it wasn't like a lot of work per se. So it was just like financially stressful. And then... you know, I got a position in like July, so that helped with the financial aspect, but then just still like, it was just a lot. So,
Right.
yes, having to deal with all the things from COVID last year. Now we're still in COVID this year. My job just told me again that we're back to teleworking 100% because of the surge,
Amen.
right? So, like, it's almost like, oh my gosh, it's happening again, right?
Right.
So anyway, emotionally, it's just a lot. Like,
it's a lot.
I don't, like, those 2 months off from work didn't even feel like enough.
I had surgery. I took two weeks off. It felt like a blip of time.
Oh my
and
gosh.
I was back to work, and I felt like, when does this crazy cycle end?
When does it
when
stop?
do I get off? Where do I get off? How do I get off? It's a lot. So
it's a lot. And you have to take time.
Well, you have to take
to
time.
care for yourself, whatever that looks like.
Whatever that looks like, but you also have to know when you've had enough, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, it's one thing to be like, I'm going to take time for myself, but to know when you've had enough, to know when you're like
when
done.
You need it, yeah.
When you need it, when it's over. Like, okay. One more person says anything to me, I don't care if it's hello. I'm running out of my skin. You know, I'm done here.
But then when you think about it too, that's a problem
It
too,
is.
right? Because people are getting to that breaking point,
Right.
where it's like, well, we shouldn't even get to that point.
Right. You shouldn't have to.
Like, you know, we have to find ways to...
Mom, wait, turn it down, Mom, just a little.
I don't think Mom can hear us because we're up so loud in the room.
I love her. The best.
No, but like just knowing, like you said, knowing when to take that time, but also not letting ourselves get to the point where we're about to break. Because the pressure can build up, and instead of like letting off little pieces of steam,
right,
we're just like, and then it just combusts, and then we're just like, oh my gosh, I've had enough. You know, like I've reached my breaking point. Right. I'm broke. I can't go anymore. Like,
my mind is gone. I'm not thinking clearly.
I can't function clearly.
Right.
It's just
not focused.
Yeah.
No longer am I clear-minded. I'm now super duper foggy.
Yeah.
You know, it's a lot of things that happen when you're stressed and you've reached your breaking point, right?
Yeah.
So, in the title, I did mention that we were going to be discussing Simone Biles and her taking her mental health break. Yes, right in the middle, dead middle of the Olympics. If my mind goes, so does my body.
Everything goes.
So does everything else.
Yeah.
And I have a life after this. She has a boyfriend. And she has family. And she has friends. And she has life after the Olympics.
Right.
After the torch is no longer lit. After all the medals and the podium is cleared away.
Yeah.
Simone Biles broken or Simone Biles whole?
Right.
I don't know what you feel, but I'm like, I applaud you for understanding that in those times of distress when everyone is looking at you to be perfect, consistently perfect, and not even allowing you the moment or the time or the space to heal and be okay. So just to give you some backstory, she's been getting so much backlash for her amazing abilities, right?
Yeah.
So she knows how to do stuff that no one's ever done. Okay, we're back. She's been breaking records like crazy. She's been doing some amazing things with her body. She's like a phenomenon when it comes to gymnastics, right? So she just starts creating moves. And when she does it, they don't know how to score her properly. So they've been docking her points for little step-offs or doing little petty things to her. And it's antagonistic.
Right.
And it's eating away at her ability to be creative and function in her natural flow, in her greatness, in her strength, in her power. So when you have someone who's just nitpicking your perfection, no, you know, so you're going to basically, you're going to flip 50 times, huh? Oh, okay, well, we're going to dock you because you stepped out on that last one. Well, you have people doing cartwheels up in this piece.
They look like cartwheels compared to what she's
in
doing.
Comparison,
yeah.
But yet you won't even score me appropriately and give me my due. You won't even give me my flowers.
Yeah, and they said...
And then, I'm sorry, you want me to perform...
Yeah.
at this perfect level and still put on a show for the whole world.
Right.
When you guys won't even stick up for me.
Yeah. And I think that I saw this great parallel, and it was like, oh, okay, so now we're gonna make Michael Jordan, his threes are only gonna be worth 2 because everybody is not as great as him.
Right.
So that's not fair to everybody else because they can't shoot like him.
Exactly.
So we're gonna start just making his shots worth less, and that's basically what they did to her. It's like, this is the highest you can get in gymnastics.
Right.
The highest difficulty you can get. I don't know if it's like 6.7 or whatever.
Right.
This is the highest difficulty you can get. So we're going to score her at 6.7 because that's the highest you can go. But like you see, I'm going to say Susie because that's my favorite name.
Totally
You
Susie.
see Susie over here, you know, doing half of what she's doing, and it's still the
Cartwheels.
same difficulty, but it's not.
It's
so
not.
what's not fair, I mean, it's all not fair to her because you need to raise the difficulty.
Right.
What you don't want to do, raise the bar. What you don't want to do is raise the difficulty, and now everybody else
looks like they suck.
Well, everybody else can't attain it.
Well, I'm not saying they suck. I'm saying in comparison to somebody flipping out of their skin and then finding it on the other side and jumping back in.
Right.
It looks like you're doing nothing.
It looks elementary compared
Remedial.
to, so, but what they need to do is just change the rating system.
They need to change the rating system.
Because it's not fair to her, who was able to do all of these amazing things. Like you said, Javier, and then making her moves worth less points.
What is that about?
Exactly.
What do you
Because
think?
they're too hard, and that's not fair to her.
Right.
And they're like, oh, well, what about everybody else? Well, what about her?
Yeah, what about her? But no one's concerned about that.
There's not many people that look like her.
No, there's not.
Who are doing the things that she's doing.
Right.
And you want to dock her points for her greatness.
Right.
And like Miss Madeline said, that was a perfect analogy with Jordan and NBA. Don't lower the bar so others don't look bad. Raise the expectations.
Raise the expectations.
Exactly.
Why
are we bringing the bar down instead of raising the bar up? Right. So that's the problem. We see that a lot.
A lot.
It's like, oh, she's too good.
Right.
So let's, make her feel bad about being good. Come on, sister. Feel bad about being good.
So what do you think that does to her mental status? Where she's worked her tail off to get to this level, to be this phenomenal athlete.
Yes.
And to have the National Gymnastics Association treat her like she is some weird phenom, some alien, or what were they in that movie? The mutant. That's how they acted. Like she's a mutant. You can't touch the mutants. You can't commingle. That's how I feel like they're treating her. Very distant and standoffish. So I understand.
But then, on the same note, make her the face of the Olympics.
And then talk bad about her for needing to take a break. She's letting her team down. No, she's not, because you guys aren't scoring her fairly anyway. Yeah. What's the difference?
Exactly.
What's the difference? You don't need me.
Yeah.
You got it, right?
Yeah, exactly. And then I heard, because I've been watching, I love the Olympics, so I've been watching all of it, all of the commentary, all of this. So Michael Phelps was saying, he was like, you don't understand. Like, he went the first year, and then I don't know how many Olympics he did in total, but he was saying that the pressure of being the face of the Olympics is something that, unless you are that, you will never understand. He was like, because that's what they did to me. I think it was like in Rio or something, where he was
Rio. And
he like got silver almost the whole time. Like, he rarely got any golds because he was like, I was just under so much pressure. Like, the weight of the world. He said, literally, just what Simone said. She said, I feel like the weight of the world is on my shoulders. And that's what she said, and that's how it felt. And so he said it too, like, it's the craziest feeling.
Come on, Javier.
Yeah, Javier said if she would have been white, this would have been a totally different story.
Completely.
It is.
Hey, Samuel.
It definitely would have been a different story. We would have been having a totally different conversation.
Totally different.
Because in recent months, it has been a lot more people of color taking a step back, like, hold up.
Yes.
Because y'all don't appreciate me.
You don't appreciate my talent.
You don't
but you
appreciate
want
my
talent.
You want it because it's good.
And it's going to win the gold.
Come on.
Yeah.
And money.
And the money. My dad's here too. Hey, Dad.
He's doing this on the side.
He's doing his money sign. So what I have here, I said imperfection. This is what I wrote down. You guys know I'm a note taker.
And hey, Samuel. I know he said hey.
Yeah, I said, hey, Samuel. I said imperfection is not an option for Black women.
No.
And really athletes. Look, we're talking athletes tonight and Black women. So I was talking to my son earlier and I mentioned LeBron James, but I'm going to get into that 2 seconds. Mental health comes second if you're an asset.
But that's been the case since slavery?
Yes, it has.
It's like,
yes, it
you
has.
feel what? I don't care.
Feelings.
That's why my friend Kay said she doesn't like the Olympics, because she said it feels like slavery. She's like, I don't like watching sports because it feels like now you're being paid to be out there.
Right.
But it's the same kind of concept. Like, they're going to work you until they have no more use for you.
No more use for you.
And then you're out.
I also said your physical health comes second if you're an asset. So Simone Biles out here mentally broken, flipping her tail off, losing consciousness midair. Me and my dad were talking about that tonight at Home Depot.
Hey,
flipping, falling. Let's just say she flips and falls, breaks her neck. Right? We're gonna get a T-shirt. They gonna half light the torch. Poor Simone. We
feel so bad for her.
This is a tragedy. They said she was sad.
But
she
you know,
had a couple of. I don't want to hear that. It did happen.
That happened to an athlete, and she's paralyzed. So what Simone had, it's called the twisties. Okay, if you haven't read any articles about it, it's called the twisties. It's literally where you become disoriented in the air.
Right.
Your mind, they said your mind disconnects from your body.
Come on.
She said that she was supposed to do a 2.5 double twist or whatever off the vault, and she said her body literally did not do it. And she did not know where she was at in the air. It's like vertigo, exactly. She did not know where she was at in the air. She could have landed terribly.
Anywhere.
She could have landed terribly. Her muscle memory kicked in and she landed on her feet.
Thank God.
Because she's probably done 1.5. I mean, that they said that's like a very elementary. Could I get him? That's like a very elementary, level vault. But the 2.5 whatever twist is not.
Right.
So her muscle memory kicked in and she did the 1.5. But she did not know where she was midair. And so she had been having these experiences. She'd had it on the floor in the qualifying where she landed off the mat, and it was like, what? She's never done this before.
Right.
This is unprecedented.
Right.
They don't even know what's happening with her. She hurt? Is she
all over
what's
the place?
Happening?
Wow. She can't handle the pressure of the Olympics.
That's what they kept saying. She can't handle the pressure. She's cracking under pressure.
Right.
She's a 4-time Olympic gold medalist. How many world championships?
She's leading this team and this country.
Like, what are you talking about?
What are you talking about? Because imperfection is not an option.
Yeah.
Now, if that was Susie Cake, okay, Jane Doe, she would be out here.
Yeah.
Wow, she's
so brave.
Fragile. She's, it's a fragile moment for her. But we salute you, Jane Doe. We salute you, Susie Cakes. You got it. We're cheering for you. And that's just the reality. The sad, sick reality of this culture and this nation. And, I was telling my son, I said, LeBron James, to me, has really stepped up his game as far as his physical health and, like, his thought process of, if I'm injured, I'm about to sit down. Like, I'm not about to do this. I'm not Kobe. God rest his soul. How Kobe broke his Achilles tendon and went back on the court and took those 2 free throws and then hobbled off.
Yeah.
That is unprecedented, but I don't even want that narrative to even be like included in what we take on as people anymore.
As being okay. And that's what they were saying, that back in the day, like the one gymnast I read about who fractured her leg. She fractured her leg. She fell off the beam because she couldn't use her leg.
Right.
And the coach was yelling on the sidelines like, keep going.
Right.
Keep going.
Right.
It's like, what? And she said after that, it was like,
They don't
I'm
care
out of here
about me.
Because they don't care. And they said with gymnasts, especially gymnasts and divers, they said had very similar experiences because they're twisting so much in the air.
Right.
So they said
hey,
that
Ms.
like,
Rhonda.
hi.
And I want to go back and read the comments after you talk about this.
Yeah. So they said that they have similar experiences. So, oh man, I completely forgot my train of thought.
I'm sorry.
Terrible.
No. You gymnasts and divers have very similar incidents with the twisting.
Yes.
Because they're twisting. And then they get disoriented in the air.
Right, they get disoriented. Okay. Yeah, but like, I don't know. I'm so mad. Maybe it'll come back to me.
It definitely will.
Yeah, because I was trying to honestly read at the same time as I was talking, and then you kind of interrupted my train of thought. I'm sorry. I need a mental health break.
You're all deuces.
Already. No, just kidding. Okay, so before Javier said, we said hi to Samuel. Hey. And then Javier said Susie would have received perfect scores even with the minor flukes based on the moves being harder than the rating could handle. Exactly. But they looked at Simone like, but you've done harder things than this. So why now
continue to overperform?
Yeah. So why now are you messing up when when this is not even as hard as the Yurchenko double pike that no other woman in the world can do.
Oh, I'm sorry, can do.
So like, I don't understand. Why is she now doing...
They talked bad about her.
But if Susie K would have done it, or Susie would have done it, she would have been like, oh, you know what? She did it. And that's what really matters.
Right.
But for Simone, they're like, well, she did
because Simone is a black woman.
She did step out a little bit, and they hold us to a higher standard and want us to perform at a higher standard while still not giving us the credit that we deserve for performing that great.
And talking bad about you while you're performing great, and then treating you poorly
and
while you're still winning.
Naomi Osaka. It's was the same thing.
And she was like, I'm out of here.
And she didn't even want to go do the Olympics.
Not for United States of America.
Nope.
All right.
She didn't lose, though. I feel bad.
Well, she's
out of the Olympics.
Look, like Venus said, until you stand in my shoes and do what I do, don't ask me any
that's how I feel about
question.
Simone, too.
That's how I feel, too.
And she has to keep explaining herself.
And she should stop.
You don't need to explain yourself.
Nothing.
You don't owe us anything.
You did your thing. You killed it.
And I saw it really quick, and I'll get to Javier's last comment.
And Mama Madeline had something to say too earlier.
Yes. So keep interrupting my train of thought. So this NBC commentator said, he made it very clear. He said, you know what? Like for all these world championships, she has pushed through with broken ribs. She was passing a kidney stone at two world champions ago. Yeah, but she was passing a kidney stone during the competition, but she still was like, I'm not going to stop.
Let my team down.
I'm not going to let my team down. I got this. I can do it. She was, she's been injured so many times and pushed through. But now she was like, you know what? Why?
Yeah.
Why keep doing this if even in me doing all of this, it's still not enough?
It's not enough.
That broke me. I mean, the way he said it, he took his glasses off. He was like, you know what? He talked directly to the camera.
Oh, I love him.
Because he was like, no, like she has already given us so much. And now you want to push her to her breaking point. Literally her breaking point. They said so many people get injured and hurt off of stuff, off of the twisties. Like, no, the fact that she knew and she took a step back, like, if I keep going, I will hurt myself. And why end your career? Self-preservation. Because she could have ended her career quickly.
Easily. Self-preservation.
Die, become paralyzed. Like I said, the one who landed on her neck and is paralyzed now forever.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah. What I tell my clients, I started telling my clients, but I definitely tell people, because I get frustrated with the demand of my career. It could be now 10:26 and I'll get a text, hey, do you have anything open for tomorrow? No, honey, I've been in the industry for 18 years. If I have openings last minute tomorrow, it's quite possible that
I'm gonna be sitting on my couch at home.
Okay. that I might
enjoying
cancel
my time.
my entire rest of my day and just be at the house. Okay. But I always say, if I die today, my clients will show up at my funeral with a fresh press.
Because they
bomb
don't find
color,
somebody else to do it.
Bomb color, a fresh cut. Talking about, she wouldn't even let me cut my hair. Oh, the memories. Huh? But I've worked myself to the bone. I've sacrificed my family, my friendships.
Yeah.
I have been out here touching chemicals. I doing God knows what. Cutting and touching on all types of dangerous and things and whatnot. Okay.
And they gonna show up.
They're gonna show up
and have a new stylist the next day. Like, oh my gosh, she died.
Oh my God.
What am I gonna do with my
about
hair?
my hair?
That's gonna be the question.
What am I gonna do about my hair?
Yeah.
That's just a fact.
It's a fact.
It's a hard, sad fact. If tomorrow something happens to Simone Biles, gymnastics will still go on. They will find another goat to parade around. And she was able to do the Pimchenko, whatever it's called, double pike twist too. And wow, she actually added a front flip on the end of it and made it even bigger. And guess what? She sacrificed her life for this sport.
Exactly.
Nobody is gonna think twice. Like I said, she'll get a T-shirt. We'll all have a T-shirt and a memory.
They literally said she alone has been through more trauma in her 24 years of life than many people will experience in their whole life. And yes, Melody, she was molested by her doctor for years. She's been through more trauma in her life than many people experience in their whole life. And you wonder why she is like done with this sport.
Right.
I mean, she might not be done with the sport, but she's at her point.
Right. I stand corrected. There is no other GOAT. But there will be other gold medalists.
Facts.
Okay,
Javier also said before, she's leading the world in this sport. She is the face worldwide. Exactly. She has been the face. How is this a pressure thing? She's an amazing athlete and something is seriously wrong with her mental health. I'm happy that she received support from her coach. Me too. And teammates, because we don't know what that continuation would have resulted in. Exactly. Right. And I'm happy too, because that's what they said was a huge issue with the gymnasts and athletes before is the coach.
Right.
Like the gymnast from I forgot, it was like 1994 Olympics or whatever.
Yeah, the one that was on Netflix, that special?
Maybe.
Okay.
She was like, I could have never gone to my coach and been like, I can't do it. He would have been like, you have no choice.
You have no choice.
You are here at the Olympics to compete.
This is an honor.
And when you go home, you can cry yourself, you know what I mean? Like, you can cry yourself to sleep there.
You can cry yourself to sleep
here,
but right now,
you are going to be out here and you're going to compete. And even with the dangers of it, in that mental state, because it is a mental state. And
it is.
Simone said, like, I'm scared. I don't trust my body right now. She doesn't know what her body's going to do. And that's terrifying. Like,
absolutely.
Terrifying. You lose. And I mentioned divers before too. Like, think about it. You're jumping off a 10-meter platform and you lose complete control over your body. You hit in the water from a very high point and you don't know what is about to happen to you.
Right.
And you land in the water like, how did I even get here?
Right. You black out.
You land on the mat and you're like, oh my God. Okay, well, I'm glad I at least landed on my feet.
Into cement.
Exactly.
Yeah, and at the velocity, right? Is that good? That she's flipping? Is that good?
Science isn't my strong.
Okay.
Sure.
The inertia.
An object in motion stays in motion. An object in motion stays in motion.
Okay. That she's flipping at?
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. I'm just getting a text right now from a client. Just now. In the middle of this live. Like,
it just came up on her screen. That's so
And it's 10:31. Didn't I tell y'all? I told y'all.
Um,
But the velocity that she's flipping.
Yes, velocity, because she's moving in direction. Thank you, Javier.
Thank you, Javier.
You know what?
Yes.
I knew it was gonna be you. Okay.
She would absolutely
Yes.
hurt herself and have irreparable damage.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah.
And so I'm proud of her.
Me too.
So I want to also say
Yes.
that, you know, we were talking in the beginning of this about our own mental health and finding the signs that you are on the verge of a break. Not a breakdown per se, right? Not a breakdown, but a break where you could hurt somebody who's irritating you.
Mm-hmm.
You could potentially hurt yourself.
Right.
You could do something erratic, like walk off your job and say F you, and you've got 25 years under your belt. And instead of going to the doctor...
You have 1 year under your belt.
Oh.
That was me.
No, we're not doing that.
Listen.
I got you.
Wait, let me pause, though.
We could go to the doctor and get... that's what I was about to say. Okay, so doing something erratic, like walking off your job, a good job, without a mental health leave paperwork filed, could result in, negative...
You losing your job.
Yes, and a negative downward spiral. And so it's important to recognize the signs that you are in trouble.
Right.
That you're in the middle of a traumatic break or experience, and that you need to take a moment. I can't say from my parents or my generation, but I know a lot of
Those are two very
people,
different generations.
They are.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, like, I can't say that I had a mental break day. Like, I'm going to school every day. Like,
oh no,
it wasn't an option to be like, I need a mental health day. And
it was kind of cliche,
right?
It was super like frowned upon. I mean, really,
it wasn't a thing. Mental health was not a thing years and years and years ago.
Well,
people weren't acknowledging it with the same like.
It's not a thing. It wasn't a thing in the Black community, right? So like we've always seen like, oh, I just need to go shop. Like we saw it in like Clueless. Like, oh, I just need a break. Like,
right.
Oh my God, I have to go shop and take a break. Oh, I just have to go.
Retail therapy.
Retail therapy.
Yes.
Oh, I'm gonna go see my therapist. Oh, you know what I mean? That was very common in other ethnicities.
That's
but
true.
in the Black community, it's taboo.
Right.
So
and
like
I think
now
in the Latin
we're
community
seeing
it's taboo too. You can let me know, Javier. I don't know for sure.
Wow.
Whoa.
But does he speak for everyone?
He doesn't. But we don't speak for all Black people. But we know
we don't.
That in the Black community,
it's super taboo.
It is. So I'm asking Javier because he is of Latin descent, correct? If it is taboo in his community as well.
Yes.
He's very well versed, and I'm sure he could answer that appropriately.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah. In the Black community, it's very taboo. So yeah, like it would.
We
make
know
sense.
it's okay in the white community, so we don't have to ask our white viewers that. They like, oh my God, yeah.
Very.
Okay, so it's very taboo.
Yeah, because it's like, and also it's always like, we're not gonna tell nobody our business either. As far as therapy is concerned, it's like, whoa,
you don't talk about it.
You don't talk about it.
What's
you don't
going on in
mention
this house
it.
is going on in this house,
right?
And you've got to deal with it here,
right?
Yeah,
yeah. So I think that they're trying to. They're trying to turn that around, right? So we've seen a lot of, like, recently, especially in the past year or two, like, talks about mental health, and, like, Black celebrities are coming out, and all of these things are like, oh, go to therapy, go to therapy, go to therapy, go to therapy, you know?
Talk about it.
Talk about it.
Talk about it.
Like, I'm a super therapy advocate. Or
not deal with it at all. Yeah, sweep it
or
under the
not
rug.
deal with it at all.
Let
exactly.
it fester, because why not?
Yeah, and that's what happened with Simone. She did not talk about being molested for a long time. And then she said, like I said, I've been watching the Olympics, and she called her mom, and her mom said she just broke down. She just was sobbing. And she said she just
the memories
knew it.
And the things
she said she just knew.
Oh my God.
At that point, what had happened. She was like, she didn't even have to say the words. She's like, just from her reaction alone, I knew. And it was just like, heartbreaking because she had to deal with that for how long? She had to suffer in silence for how long? For fear that suffer in silence for how long? For fear that her career would be over. For fear that, you know, she would never make, you know, her dreams come true, or all that she's worked for would be pushed down the drain, all because she didn't.
Because she said something.
And that is a problem. So yeah, that's a part of self-care, is being open and honest about what you're going through, what you're experiencing. You know,
Talk
like whatever
about
you
it.
need to do to really like feel better.
Yeah, I was
like,
talking with one of my friends today, and I was so inspired, you guys, because I was sharing with you guys at the beginning of this live that I've had the weight of the world, it felt like, on my shoulders this last few months, just so heavy and so much going on, and not really even having an outlet, still having to perform at, you know, April Marie standard level, which everyone knows is
it's very high.
Very high. Thank you, Stephanie. And not really having a moment to take. I don't have a moment to take. Like, I've been racking my brain on how can I just get to the Hyatt, you know,
Oh my gosh, that's all I keep saying.
one good night. You know,
like, just give
like
me a
what
hotel.
day would I get? Like what can I move around? I can't.
Yeah.
Right now I'm pressed. And so you know, I was talking with one of my good friends today, and she was saying that she was Audi 5000. She was like, girl, no problem. She was like, I'm literally out of here. If you have an onion ring or a fry over there, feel free to bring it on by. Okay. Or my salad is fine. I'll take a little bite of that in between talks. Sorry, guys. I'm starving. I need a little chicken in my life. But yeah, I just feel like it's becoming a thing where, you know, who could I talk to? How could I fix this? What can I do in order to alleviate some of this pressure, some of this stress? So I've been, you know, talking. Usually I'm a good listener standing behind my chair. I'm just listening to my clients' problems and their issues and things that's going on with them. But I have taken a moment, and I'm just like a blabbermouth. And I'm sorry. Like, you know, because I can't hold it anymore. I have too much that I need to say, too many things I need to work out in my brain. You know, usually I'll just try to remember all these emails that I have to send, like, because I have a lot of things that are going on actively. And I'm like, okay, wait. And so I'll just write it down real quick while I'm in the middle of doing hair. You know, write it down so that I won't forget the thought. Instead, I'm like, give me a second. I'll sit down and I'll write out that email and I'll send it. Why? Because stuff really does have to get done. And, you know, I can't rely on my brain to try to remember every single detail, every little thing, like every second of the day. It's like, oh, I need to say this. Nope, I'm just going to call. You're in the middle of a story, ma'am, and I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. My son is calling. You know what? Give me 1 second. I gotta handle this business. We got construction over here. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back, because I gotta handle this stuff, you know? And it's been very, very hard. But I'm thankful that, you know, I do. What? That looks so delicious. Oh, Steph. No, I can't.
You don't want it.
Okay. This burger looks like a commercial burger.
Hey.
Do you know what that is? Like, the commercial burger is like perfect. Like, they didn't give me my...
It does. No, your salad's...
Okay. It's okay. Anyway.
I forgot my fries too, though, so it's okay.
It
was meant to be.
I was planning on stealing a fryer too. I'm gonna be honest.
It was meant to not be in my mouth.
Okay, let's read a comment.
Okay,
but anyway, yes, knowing my breaking point. So my friend, I'm sorry, this is what I was gonna say.
Yeah, I was like, weren't you telling a story?
Yes, I was, and I got sidetracked when I saw that burger, and it was just like about to be over.
Okay,
but she was like, call me if you want. You know, I am going away for a few days. I just have to, like, my mental status is wrecked. And me and Simone Biles are both on a mental sabbatical. You know, she was like, I can't take another thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, when I tell you I was salivating and I was super duper jealous, like I was like, what? Like, you are like, I need a break.
You know what's crazy? Because I always tell you that.
Yeah.
I tell people that all the time. I'm like,
hey, auntie.
Okay, so I always say this, like, you make your own schedule, right? But in essence, you do, but then you don't.
Right.
Right? So, like, you're in the service industry. So it's kind of like, if I make my own schedule like that, nobody would be getting their hair done.
Ever. I'm
Right?
going to tell you, it's bad right now. It's bad. Like, I look at my day, and I'm just like, I flip a coin. Am I going or not? Like, that's literally how I feel. Only because of all these other pressures that I have. You know what I mean? Generally, I'm a little bit more, accommodating and, warm and fuzzy about it. But the truth of the matter is that I'm exhausted. And so, yes, I do make my own schedule. That bite looks so good. I do make my own schedule, but at the same time, I built my clientele on being accommodating and flexible and open.
But also, your mental health is important.
Right.
And if you need a break, you need to take a break.
I have been a lot better with that lately, though.
Okay.
Like, okay, well, I'm not coming until 11. Unless I decide to make, time more on my schedule. But, I think a lot of hairstylists and people in my industry, they work themselves to the bone and they crack. And then that's how you get mean stylist. Have you guys ever met mean stylist? If you haven't, I'm about to introduce you to her. Mean stylist is the one where you come in and you're happy and she's like, you can sit down. And then you're like, oh, I really wanted to get, and she like, did you tell me that you wanted that? And you're like, well, I just wanted to get a color or a cellophane. And it's like, I don't think I have that color.
Semi-permanent color.
Semi-permanent color is a cellophane. I don't think I have that color. And you're like, okay, like, well, can I just get a deep conditioner? I'll see if I have time. That's mean stylist, right? Mean stylist is the one who is just giving you the super bare minimum, the tiny bit that she can give you to get you out of there because she really doesn't want to be there anymore. Because she's really struggling with an emotional break, a mental break. She needs a moment, right? But she can't take it. She's anchored to her chair. Anchored, that was the word I used. And that's a fact. And so that's how it feels in this industry if you don't think about yourself. If you don't handle yourself with care, if you aren't making sure that even though you're stressed or whatever, you're like, no, it's not a shameless plug. It's very shameful. My dad said it's a shameless plug. I know, handle with care. Is it upside down? It was. Yeah.
I just bought it from the store.
You guys good?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because if you don't,
sorry,
I know, Javier, it's bad.
It's so
it smells
good.
so good.
I was gonna show it, and then I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna out myself. Okay, but wait, I have to say this because Javier said I was literally talking about self-care with a coworker today. In the Latinx community, it is not a thing. It's a white culture thing.
Right.
The reason for this is because the Latinx community is a collectivist culture where we can take care of each other and do things together, while white American culture is individualistic. It's individualistic.
Right.
And they only think about taking care of themselves.
Wow. I kind of want to read that last part again. The reason for this is because the Latinx community is a collective culture.
Where we take care of each other and do things together, while the white American culture is individualistic and they only think about taking care of themselves.
Wow.
That's interesting. And it's very true. I mean, they say America's individualistic.
Well, America's founded, they didn't start it for real, but they founded it on white America. So yeah, it is. It's white America. That's what it is.
It was founded on white America, but it was built. Doggone it.
By black people.
Come on. Let's just be real about it.
Doggone it. You already know. The frustration.
It's real,
The
man.
frustration even of that. And then having to perform at a level of perfection. Without getting the love and the due. And then still being treated like crap.
Yeah, but no, that's very true.
my God.
America, I mean, yeah. And I mean, it's similar kind of for the black community. You okay?
I'm fine. Sorry.
She got a little...
Power to the people.
She felt really militant just now.
I did.
Yeah, but it's true. Collectivist culture. And that's what black people are like, no, like, you don't need to go talk to a therapist. Like, just talk to your mom or talk to your sister. And it's just like, yeah, but they're not going to be able to give me the information that I need. They're not going to be able to listen. And I mean, some people can provide sound advice on how to work with, you know, whatever you're going through. But then for the most part, it's very surfacey. It doesn't really go to the root of the issue because most of the time they don't want to hear the root of the issue or are scared of what the root of the issue is. So it's like, you know, oh, you were, you know, molested as a child. It's like, wow, like, I'm so sorry. Like, no, that's not the response I wanted.
Right.
I don't want you to tell me I'm sorry. I want you to tell me how I can deal with this for the rest of my life and what, because it's here. Right. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, yeah, like it needs to be real help. And that's what I'm, Javier said, now I'm craving a burger, which is, it's so good. And I feel guilty, but I don't. Because you know what? I've wanted this burger for a very long time. And I'm going to enjoy it while I have it. And I'm not going to eat another one for a long time again. Okay. Anyway. Javier said, I mean, even think about once you're 18, you're out on... I was just talking to somebody about this. Think about once you're 18, you're out on your own, or I'm putting my parents in a home. These are quotes. So in sports, how this translates is if you're not personally benefiting me, you're nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, your physical health comes second if you're an asset. So it's like, shoot them up with cortisone. Wrap them up.
They'll be fine till this is over.
Till this game is over.
Yeah.
And we get our win.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's what they always expect. Yeah. And Javier, to that, about once you're 18, you're out on your own too. And that is common in other communities as well. Because I know people who...
What's the other community? White?
Well, I know white people, and their parents are like, oh, yeah, they're 28, and they're like, I live with my parents. And it's not weird. It's not abnormal. It's it's a trauma response. But anyway, like, yeah. But I was saying that you said in sports it translates if your person, that's what you commented on. Okay. Samuel said the individualism is a slight myth, though. They still band together under white supremacy.
That's right.
And revisionist history when convenient. Absolutely.
Love that.
That is so true.
Absolutely.
They seem individualistic, but they always band together.
Yes.
And always look out for each other. They're individualistic
when it comes to their wealth building and their... you know, it's like dog eat dog. You know, they're like, I'm going to get this. I'm going to get this money. But at the end of the day, they're like, well, I got this money, but I'm going to help you get this money. I'm going to reach down and pull up, you know, everybody who looks like me to get their money too. But as long as it doesn't affect mine.
Yeah, we see that in jobs all the time.
Absolutely.
White people will hire white people.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to other cultures, it's like no, you didn't.
Right.
Like, I worked hard to get here.
Or they want you to, you know, or if you are qualified, they'll hire you, but they're gonna work your butt to death, where you will have to take a mental health sabbatical. You'll have to stay gone because they will work you to death. Just forget, because now they gave you the position. You didn't earn the position. No, it was a gift. I gave it to you.
Yeah.
So now you're going to work for this.
Right. And then Miss Madeline said, how did Colombia discover America when Native Americans, blacks, and Latinx was already here? Exactly. Well, we all know that, Christopher Columbus was a complete joke.
A lie.
Okay? A lie. We already know that. So I don't even celebrate Columbus Day. Who cares about Columbus Day?
Who saw?
And Samuel said they will renounce the privilege or an opportunity to be the protagonist, never the historical antagonist. Exactly. Like, I don't. I renounce my throne. I renounce my privileged throne. Exactly. That's Coming to America reference.
Oh, I know. I know that. I just want to make sure that I understand what he was saying 100%. So help me.
Well, they never want to be like the reason why, black people were held down. They never want to be the antagonists. They never want to be the people who are holding people down, or they never want to be the villain.
Yeah. Right.
So they'll never,
So then they're often changing history.
Well, that's what they're trying to do right now.
Yeah, trying to rewrite it to where we
don't teach it, or we don't,
all
of that is happening now. So then, so we'll see that like, no, I'm not privileged. It's like, no, because you're white, you automatically have a certain amount of privilege that other people who are not white have. Right. That's just what comes with the color of your skin. Right. Right. And so I think that it's, listen, this can go in a whole different direction. Okay. Because
it's going anyway, because I'm over here boiling.
This privilege gets my skin boiling like nothing.
Yeah.
It affects my mental health. Okay. Like it really does. And so, Miss Madeline said truth to Samuel's comment. And then Javier responded to Samuel's comment. He said, for sure, so the culture is individualistic, but band together for self-preservation.
Self-preservation.
Or because it benefits them on an individual level at the end of the day.
Period.
Exactly.
That's what we were saying. 100%.
Exactly. Yeah, and Samuel said, yep, corporate looks like them, but won't put anyone of color in leadership. Aside from exceptions that come at a cost. Listen, sidebar. This is totally my dissertation.
This is
totally my dissertation.
This is your dissertation. You can use this footage.
No, I cannot use this footage. Well,
I was trying to.
I'm sorry.
The suite will lend you this footage.
I cannot use this footage. But this is totally like, oh my gosh. Yeah. I cannot wait.
I know. I'm going to be there for your defense.
I mean, a lot of people can be there for my defense. Okay, good. It's going to be amazing.
It's going to be amazing.
But seriously, like what you just said, corporate looks like them, but won't put anyone of color in leadership. Aside from exceptions that come in the cost. So my whole dissertation is, I can give you guys a snippet. It's really going to just be about interviewing women of color who are in corporate leadership positions, really to find out how they were able to break down the barriers that basically allowed them, how they were able to break down the barriers to get to that level. Because there's so few, especially black women, there's so few black people, let alone black women, in corporate leadership positions that I want to know, like, how did you get here? What did you have to endure? Yeah. What did you have to do to get here? Because there are women who, like yourself or whatever, are starting their own corporations, starting their own businesses, becoming entrepreneurs because they're not able to break through the barriers. So like, you know what? Forget this. I'm just going to go out on my own and do it.
And the ones that are, like I have a client, she's really killing it in her position, and they keep giving her bigger positions, more responsibility, more. I'm like, how many freaking phones are they gonna give you? Like, how many does Susie have? Because I feel like the girl who steps in and takes your spot when you're at home for the night.
Yep.
You're the girl who, because, there's two of you at least in a huge corporation, like that. So when she steps in, what are they calling her? Or are they just calling you? Because it seems like
I tell
you should be able to take an hour and a half to get your hair done without having to. I'm like, you're not there. You're off. Are you off? She's like, no, I am off. I'm actually off. But, they can't do it without me.
Yeah. But you know what? I see that too, even at my job. Like, I know there are people who they always call.
Right.
And it's never,
It's never Susie.
It's never Susie.
Oh, no, because Susie knows
Susie will take, she knows when to say, you know what, I'm
off. I'm with my kids.
And it's like, okay. But, Black women, Latinx women, like.
We'll take it. It's like, hey, settle down. I got to talk to work. Sit down. I'm going to handle this call.
Yeah.
Stop doing that.
Yeah. I saw emails at 11 and 12 o'clock at night and I'm like, why? Why are you working right now? What are you doing? Like, what? This just, so I see it. I see it. I see it. And it's a problem.
It's a problem.
It's the same. It's all the same
But
thing.
the fear of losing your job, losing your position, losing your status, losing your Fortune 500 income.
Yeah.
Because you've said no, I'm off. This is my time.
Yeah.
That's why diversities and inclusion CEOs and those new jobs, right, are being created.
Yeah.
Positions, right?
No, absolutely.
I mean, you guys, I'm not corporate, but I'm a corporation. You know what I mean?
See, you started your own though, right?
I started my own, but I'm just saying I don't have all the right perfect terminologies.
Yeah, it's
but
okay.
That's why those things are starting to exist now, because people are feeling like, where is I need a freaking black union rep. Like, do we have a black union around here?
Okay.
Somebody who can stand for me.
Stop talking about it now. We can do that. You guys didn't hear the past 1 minute.
Okay. Okay.
We'll get back to the Black Union. Okay, wait. Okay, but no. Samuel said CRT puts them in a CRT critical race theory. Puts them in a critical race theory.
I love that.
I love it. You love critical race theory?
Yes. I love the CRT. I love the fact that you knew what it was. Okay.
Well, that was going to be CRT. CRT was going to be the foundation for my dissertation, but I was kind of talked out of it because of how intense it is right now. And I
critical
understand.
race theory.
Yeah.
Okay, break that down for me. I haven't studied it.
I mean, you haven't heard anything about it recently? It's been in the news I
haven't watched the news. I haven't been able to even watch Netflix. I haven't done anything that I wanted to do.
Why?
What? Don't.
Why?
Don't. I feel like we can't see you all the way. There we go.
Oh, now you really put me on
That's
there.
my sister. She's so pretty.
Okay, let's see. I'm going to make
I'm not feeling very well. Oh my God.
Okay.
My niece is the cutest thing ever.
Yeah.
And that's what she said one day. When we came over, she had a concussion. This is perfect. It perfectly applies.
Oh my gosh, it is.
It perfectly applies. My niece fell off the trampoline. She got a concussion. Mm-hmm. It was a mild concussion, but yet and still a concussion, right? So the next day, of course, the boys were just mortified. Carter was just oh my gosh, she carried her inside. He was like, everybody, Athena fell. She hurt her head. I was like, oh, baby, you're a hero. He really stepped up. So the next day anyway, rushed to the hospital, and all of that good stuff. She got patched up. She was okay. Couldn't go to sleep right away. All of the things that they tell you when you have a concussion. Okay. Mm-hmm. So the next day we went over to their house because we were like, we got to check on her, right? So she answers the door and she's 6. She's so cute. I can't even take it.
She's adorable.
She opens the door and she was like, oh, this dramatic. I'm so sorry about yesterday. I wasn't feeling very well. And I said,
You're
what?
sorry.
You're sorry? I said, don't be sorry. You hurt yourself. And she was like, oh, yes. And I was like, oh my God, you're not about to do this. Like it's okay to not be feeling well. You fell off a trampoline and injured your head. It's okay to not be feeling well. You don't have to apologize for that. But we feel like we have to. Black women, I'm just so sorry, you guys. I'm so tired. I can't, last 2 weeks, I missed our live. Like, I'm sorry, guys. I can't. Like, I'm tired. I can't go live. It's like even feeling like I have to explain myself. Simone Biles, I didn't have a chance to even read her whole entire dissertation statement that she felt like she had to give America for her mental health breaks. You know what I'm saying? Like, just having to feel like you have to supply this extreme conversation, that it's even a conversation of why I need a break. No, there's no back and forth here. It is what it is. I'm done. I'm checking out.
Yeah.
And I'll see you in a minute. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. CRT. Critical race theory. Let's go.
Yeah. So basically, I kind of looked it up because you put me on the spot and I got really nervous, which is probably why I shouldn't use a foundation anyway. But anyway, the core idea is that race is a social construct and that racism is not merely the product of individual bias or prejudice, but something embedded in legal systems and policies. So my reason, that's why. Okay, let's all come back to me because I haven't researched in a long time. So my reason originally for wanting to use critical race theory was because racism is running throughout corporate America, right? So I was like, well, racism is why women, oh no, are we still frozen? Like how we're both moving as if us talking is not.
Are we back? Tell us, please. Okay, we're moving.
I hope we're moving.
I hope so too.
Yeah, my whole reason for wanting to use critical race theory, like I said, is because I made the bold statement that racism is why women, is why Black women were not in these leadership positions, right? Okay, good.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you guys for letting us know.
Thank you for letting us know.
Yeah, so I was like, no, like the reason why, like I said, Black women are not here is because corporate America is racist, and I want to talk to them to know if it is indeed racist, you know what I mean?
Right,
and so they're like,
right.
okay, hold on.
Right.
Because really I wanted to talk about race and gender. But anyway, so critical race theory,
okay, I have to read
really
it a few times. That's how I learn, and I really get it. I actually have to put myself in the position of it. Like, let me reread it. It's just what it is, guys. I have to read it, then reread it, then actually, sit with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
No problem.
So it's basically what you're saying is that it has to do with the social construct. So in society, it's actually just okay to be racist. Is that what you're saying? You don't have to make the dumb info face. You can just say it. No?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Somebody tell me. A little bit better, probably.
Is a body of legal... Okay. Wait.
Well, because CRT started because of a lawsuit, right? And so the first people who kind of, the creators of it, or people who coined the term, really were lawyers, right? So it started with lawsuits, and then they were like, wait a second, this is a problem because racism is systemic. Exactly. This is a problem because right,
it's a part of this.
It's a part of the system. Yeah. So that's why they want to stop teaching it in schools. They want to stop teaching it anywhere because they're like, no, racism is not systemic. It's just the people. And that's what you said about people kind of denying that they had that they contributed to, the downfall of Black people or whatever.
Right.
It's all.
So it's a part of the system. It's not just that people are racist. I mean, they are, but I'm saying it's actually put into the
right. It's
core
ingrained
value
into the core values
of the system.
Right.
So that's what CRT is talking about.
Yes, basically.
Okay.
Right? Somebody tell me if I'm wrong, because
I
haven't studied it in
I
a
knew
few
that,
months,
but they gave it a new
like...
name. I just call it racism. I'd be like, that's racist.
Yeah.
It's racism.
Right. It's all racism to me.
Critical race theory, okay, is that it's systemic. Okay.
Right.
Javier said racism is and has been embedded in our society, specifically in policies, law, and anything that creates barriers for
I
can't see
people of color.
People of color. Okay.
Yeah. So right, that's why I wanted. Right, they don't teach it in school. Right, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Unless
wait,
you're in grad school or law school.
Right, because it started with the legal side
system.
of it, because lawyers kind of came with that.
And Dad said racism. I'm sorry, were you about to do that?
Well, we have like
other ones.
Yeah.
Okay.
So. Okay, let me just bring my phone over here.
Okay, let me read Dad's real quick. Racism is woven into every fiber of America. This new stuff is a cover-up. The real driver of American racism is fear. I can't see the rest.
Yes. Okay, well, I had scrolled up to see. Okay, so after the CRT comment that Samuel put, he said, I need to have y'all on my show so we can chop it.
Yes!
The F up for real.
I'm ready to chop it up. Let's go.
Oh, and then Samuel said, in what game did they have to play to stay there? Talking about the black women. And it's true. Like,
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I want to know all of that.
I can't wait.
Because it's going to be a narrative study, so I'm just going to let them, like, tell their story. I mean, that's the goal. Anyway.
I love it.
Y'all didn't hear about it? No, I was kidding. Okay. So, but Javier said, but talk about privilege is related to mental health because we as people of color don't have the privilege, to seek mental health. And when we do, we are criticized harder and they try to invalidate our health. So had Simone been white, then there would have been less criticism for seeking help for mental health.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
100% agree.
Absolutely. Miss Madeline said, Black women need mentors and sponsors to achieve.
That's right. That's right. Because that's why the Greeks, the sororities are such a big deal, especially in the South. Yeah. Because they're like, oh, I got
it's
you.
A network.
Oh, you're a Delta? You're one of my sorors. Let's go. I'm going to get you in here. Because they're able to see, like, how hard it is.
Right.
The hoops you have to jump through. So once one makes it, they have to filter in more.
Yep.
Because you can't get through that ceiling.
Yeah.
It's so depressing.
Yeah. And a lot of the articles that I've read so far, like, that's what a lot of women say. Like, the only way I was able to get to anywhere is because of, any mentors that I had.
Right.
Or whoever it was somebody who was helping them to get through. Even if it was like, there's just somebody I call to check in. This is just somebody I, like, talk to, blah, blah, blah. Like, they needed a mentor to be able to keep going.
It's so sad.
Yeah. So, and then Samuel said, I give the ones who get in and hold court because there is a certain burden. At my last job, I eventually spoke to the one Black woman software engineer for a good hour and told me her whole story.
Wow.
I cherished that conversation so much. Unfortunately, she didn't want to share it with the public. Yeah. That's why, mine are going to be anonymous unless they want. I mean, they're going to be anonymous because, we don't want any backlash for being open and honest about their experience or their health or their whatever. We don't want any backlash. So, like, because they don't want to talk about it. People don't want to talk about it.
People don't want to talk about it.
Because it can honestly be traumatizing to think about it. Like, they literally told me, like, you'll probably want to set up, like, post-interview counseling set. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just in case. And it's like, oh, my gosh.
Yeah. Didn't even think that we would have to do that. Because it was so heavy
to get through.
Sorry, it's my vitamin chew.
Yeah. Okay. But it's I don't want to share with the public. It's very true. It happens often. And then Dad said that's because Susie has a support system at home. Yeah. I don't remember it.
Susie has a support system at home.
Yeah.
So it's a lot easier for Susie to say, no, I'm off. Don't call me. Because Jeff also works for a Fortune 500 company. And if Susie loses her position or gets demoted or whatever, she's like, it's okay. Jeff's got us. I'm fine. Or our attorney will be in contact because I'm allowed to have time with my kids. We don't push those envelopes because we're like, they're going to fire me. And I can't afford that attorney because I have the rest of the weight of the world on my shoulders. And, and I need this job.
It's crazy. Like, I felt that way. I'd be like, okay, now. My doctor was like, just let me know how many more weeks you need off. And I was like, I can't do that. Like, I can't push the limit.
Right.
I can't push the envelope because they're going to fire me.
I'm a black woman.
They're going to get rid of me and replace me with somebody else because, like, why would they wait? You know what I mean? Right. Like, they're not going to wait. It's a large organization. So why would they wait for me to feel better?
Right.
To now, whatever. Like, no. And so I literally was like, oh my gosh, like, I have to, exactly. Us just being in those positions, pushing the envelope. Exactly. Yeah. And that's what it felt like. And that's a terrible feeling. It's a terrible, my supervisor was like, are you sure you don't need more time? And I was like, oh no, it's okay. I know I have to get back to work. And you know what she said? She said, work will be here. If you don't take the time that you need, you may not be.
Come on.
And I said, oh.
Well, in that case,
my doctor gave me 2 more weeks, And she's like, okay. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, okay, we'll see you when you get back. Because the work will still be here. And I was like, okay.
Us being in those positions is pushing the envelope, and that's how they treat you.
Yeah. They
treat you like you are pushing the envelope. Like, you made it in here on the skin of your teeth. Actually, bro, I'm more qualified than even
anybody else.
You only got in here off of freaking nepotism.
Right.
If we had to go toe to toe right now, I would beat you off the mark.
I know.
And that's the part. And yes, Samuel, what you said about let me scroll up. What did you just say?
We're so far.
I know.
You could have the rest of the year off unpaid.
Right. They're quick to do that, but they'll teach their Susie, hey, if you go to the doctor, and these are the words you say, mental breaking point. But we don't get that coaching. That's why mentorship is key. I completely agree with that, Miss Madeline. Completely. Okay, there's some more comments I've seen.
It's for white, Miss Madeline said, for white folks, I love the YT because that's how you don't get flagged by Facebook. For white folks, CRT is anything and everything that touches racism and makes them uncomfortable, which is not what CRT is at all. Right. So it's like, we are going to take the Martin Luther King speech out of our history lessons. And it's like, why? Because he had a dream that his 4 black daughters would be able to play with 4 white. You know what I mean? Like,
what? Is that what they said?
Yeah, some people want to take it out. I think they already did, or try to remove it from their curriculum. Isn't that crazy? The I have a dream speech, like, it's just that ticky tack.
Because they're just that guilty.
Because it's threatening to. Right. They're just that guilty.
They're just that guilty.
This is white guilt. Coming in strong.
At its finest. Like, oh my God.
Yeah. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad right now.
Wow.
Okay. Oh yeah, when Dad said that's because Susie has a support system at home, Miss Madden said, and at work.
And at work. Woo.
Yeah. And that's why it felt so good. Your Texas removed it. Yeah, I think so. That's why it felt so good when my supervisor said that to me. Because I was like, wow. Like, I know now that I also have a support system at work.
You have an ally.
I have an ally. Yeah.
And that's not easy to come by.
It's not. Because you know what's interesting, too? Like, I come back to work. You know, everybody, they don't know. They don't know all that happened or anything like that, right? And so this one lady had texted me like, oh, like, you know, I hope you're doing okay, da 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 da. And I was like, oh, thank you. And I just kind of gave her like a quick synopsis. And she was like, oh my gosh, I had no idea. And I was like, yeah, like, I mean, I'm not going to be out here, you know, verbalizing all my stuff, you know. And so, but then I get to work and then I find out that, you know, she was like trying to say some stuff, kind of like, oh, well, like, she's still not back yet? Like, well, what's going on? You know, she was over here running her mouth.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so her response to me was like, oh my God, I had no idea. Like, it made her feel guilty. Like, it made her feel bad.
Right.
Because it's like, oh, like, yeah, so you're out here and you don't know what people are going through. You don't.
Yeah, he's
talking. Yeah. Like, you don't know what people are going through, and yet you're over here, like, saying who knows what. And that's what they always say, like, right? Like, when Chadwick Boseman was going through and nobody knew he was sick, but he posted the picture, and, oh my God, he looks so thin. Oh my God, what's going on with him? You know, all these things. And it's like, yeah, like, you never know what people are going through. Circle back mental health. You never know. And so Simone having to do all of these, like, I don't feel like I need to explain myself to anybody.
Right.
Like, I told my supervisor what was going on. I don't care about nobody else.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But, like, her feeling like she had to explain herself to the world because she feels like she let the world down. I feel bad about my little organization over here. She feels bad that she let the world down. Like, how much pressure. And I know how much pressure I felt just to go back to work after 2 months. And she, you know, like, is having this whole thing in front of the whole world. And I'm sitting in my house. Right. So I could only imagine.
Right. The pressure.
It's a lot. Anyway, let's see. Oh yeah, Miss Ballin said they don't teach it in school unless you're in grad or law school, critical race theory. Yeah, it's legal racism, like redlining, is what Javier said. Dad said racism is woven into every fiber of America. This new stuff is a cover-up. The real driver of American racism is fear. Yeah. We've been seeing that a lot recently, especially. But I mean, forever we've been seeing it. Fear. It's always the driver of a lot of racist activity. And yes, Javier, unpacking trauma is traumatic. Yes. So.
Yeah. It's like a tissue box needs a tissue box.
Yeah, because having to relive it over and over and over again is terrible. Oh yeah, we read that about us being in the positions is pushing the envelope. That's so true. Ms. Madeline said the key difference between mentors and sponsors is mentors vertical and horizontal to help you achieve certain goals. Sponsor, however, use their credibility to introduce you to places you can't go and key people you never know in projects that have the most exposure. Yeah, that's good.
Sponsorship.
Yeah.
That's big. So mentors are great, but sponsors are...
I mean, they can both be very...
very
helpful to somebody who is...
trying to break into corporate America. That looks like
trying to break in anything, really.
Right.
I mean... for somebody to vouch for you and your credibility and who you are to pull you into the room, right? Sponsorship is getting you into the room.
Ooh.
You know, I think that's kind of what...
I love that analogy. Because, you know, guys, I just said, the room. Because, you guys, the way that everything, when I read, I literally play it out. I read it again, and then I play it out in my head almost like a movie. And so when Stephanie or anyone says, you know, whatever to get in the room, I can see someone being interjected into a space without any, like, love that too, Stephanie. Thank you, Miss Madeline. Yeah, like no hindrance, no issue, just sucked in and just in the middle of it. And now they have a seat at that table. And I love the in the room, I love the seat at the table analogy because it's so relevant and it's so true.
Yeah.
I love that. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Okay, Javier said I work in a white-dominated field. White, WT2. That's common on Facebook now. A white-dominated field. I took off almost 7 months from work. I was nervous of not having a job afterward. I even worked during part of my recovery time to assure I wasn't replaced.
Yeah.
Yeah. Me too, Javier. Me too. They're like, you're back?
Right.
It's like, oh, yeah. And then I end up having to go out again.
Right.
So it was like, what the heck?
Right. What the heck?
Why? Why would we do this? You know?
Oh, are you skipping Mom's comments?
No. Wait, hold on. I might have something to see. Okay, Mom said, when you do have a black union rep, the other races do not want to support the union because of the representation. They honestly don't feel as though they need the help, kind of like Obamacare, the vaccine, etc.
So, okay, so you're saying, Mom, when there's a black union rep, other races, so white people don't want to support the union, so then the union collapses because they need everybody, and at these employment areas, white people are the majority. So, right? Is that what you're saying?
Or are you talking about black people don't need the help?
They act like they don't need the help.
I've seen that too. Like, yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
We do. We need it. Let's just be honest.
Okay, but no, Mom said Obamacare, which means that's white people saying that.
But then she mentioned the vaccine, and that's the black people thing right now. Let's just be honest.
Yes, Mom. Tell us again. Clear it up for us.
Okay.
So,
yes. So then, okay. But yes, Javier. So I agree with you because I did the same thing. So it's a lot. Miss Madeline said, but worth it in the long run. About unpacking trauma is traumatic.
Yeah.
It's so worth it.
Right.
It's so worth it. Like,
yeah, it's freedom.
it's freedom.
Yeah.
We love freedom.
Oh, yeah.
We need freedom. We need to be free from all this.
Yeah. It's just, you're locked in bondage,
Yeah.
It
kind of makes you stuck.
And people that caused you the trauma, they free.
They free. They live in life to the fullest.
They living their best life.
And I'm like, oh. Like,
Yeah.
okay.
And you're bound. Bound by the trauma. You have to get rid of it. So,
Yeah.
however that, works for you as far as therapy or, whatever. Whatever how you get free, that's what you need to do.
Yeah.
So that you can really leave it where it's at.
Yep. And so it says, so about the I Have a Dream speech, Javier said Texas removed it.
And then Miss Madeline said Texas passed the law to remove Dr. King, Susan B. Anthony, and who?
Etc.
And okay. And then Samuel said, I can't read it from there.
Okay. He said, learning about, I had to look up what PWI means because I didn't know what the acronym meant.
Okay.
Learning about the civil rights movement in high school, predominantly white institutions. I looked it
I
up.
love these acronyms.
Learning about the civil rights movement in a high school, predominantly white institutions, though, not gonna lie, it was pretty trash sitting in there as the only black person. Felt like eyes were all on me, and somehow I was a whole scholar of the movement. That was me. That was me too. I had 6 black people in my whole class. Class meaning the senior class or the junior class, right? So I had 6 black people. Was it 5? I think one of them moved away. One of them left. Actually, no, 6. 3 girls and 3 boys. And so it was very rare that 2 of us had the same class together. So having to learn about any of it was trash. Having to sit there while we read books that, had the N-word in it was trash. Having to go through all of these things by myself, essentially, was a terrible experience. I mean, I got through it, made my voice heard on some of the things, Yes, but also a lot of them look to you like, so how do you feel
Does it
about...
really hurt your feelings when you hear the word Nigger, or...
Or is it okay if there's an A at the end? You know, they didn't say that, but it's like, what the heck? You know, but, you know, it was just, you were token, right?
Yeah.
So, yes, eyes were always on you. I'm sorry. Love that, Steph. Thanks for Madeline about the room.
Well, anyway, my son, you know, he goes to the same school that Stephanie went to.
But it's different now.
Okay, but they're still reading To Kill a Mockingbird, and if anything needs to be erased from history.
They love that book. Oh
at that school?
I mean,
well,
all
literature.
Whatever. They're like, this is a literary work of art.
Yeah,
you
but
know.
they only mastered the word Nigger in there.
There is a lot of it, but it is a sign of the times.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just, I mean, that's, I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying that the book was written at a time when that was...
He said it's weird. I said, did you guys read out loud? Because then a new Ava Marie would be reborn, and I would fly over to that school, and I would make fire come from my hands.
Yeah.
Okay? WandaVision up in here, for real. Mm-hmm. I would. He said, no, Mom, we're not reading the book out loud. I said, good. Because if you are reading it out loud, and they're out here... okay, reading out loud those words, and you're the only black student in that classroom.
Yeah,
they gonna need a new campus.
Yeah, we read.
I can't.
Really quick because you mentioned Huckleberry Finn. We read Huck Finn in class, and they tried to. It was, first of all, it was very uncomfortable because Huck Finn is worse than To Kill a Mockingbird. If you've ever read Huck Finn, it's.
I went to Palmdale High School.
Okay. I went to Paraclete. But it's almost worse.
We didn't read these.
So, yeah.
If we did. I sure don't remember.
So we had to read it in class, but I made it very known.
Mm-hmm.
I said, just to be clear, like, we're not going to be reading...
the whole book?
Including the word. Yeah, because it's like, oh, well, you know, it's in the book. Yeah, I made it very clear.
I don't care if it's...
I'm not reading it, and I don't expect anybody to read this out loud in class. And she was like, oh, well, no. Class, make sure that when you see that word, just skip it. I said, yeah, because it's not necessary to read out loud in class. The book isn't even necessary.
Nigger. Because the Nigger. Because I already know.
Yeah.
It's just,
they were like, ooh, we get to say it and it'd be okay. And I made it very clear. I was the only black person in class. There was a Filipino kid in class, and he looked at me because we were the only two people of color in the room, and he was just like, okay, like, we're about to do this. And I was like, okay, you know, because he was like, yeah, like, being one of the only Filipino kids at the school, too, he was like, you know, I stand in solidarity with you. Like, we're not going to go through this, you know? So anyway, it was crazy. But yes, they, because Javier kind of touched on it, but we will get back to that. I want to see. Okay. Oh, Dad said that happened at my local, which is a union. Mm-hmm. We had a black man as a business agent. He couldn't find a friend in the union hierarchy. Wow. It happens everywhere.
Yeah, it does. You get shut out. You get almost like being redlined.
Yeah.
They put red tape around you and you just don't go there.
Yep. As Madeline said, it's hilarious that white folks didn't know Obamacare and the Affordable Care Act. They hate Obamacare but love the Affordable Care Act. Shows their racism is the root. Exactly.
Right.
Oh my gosh. I worked at a healthcare company and they would call and be like, oh yes, I'm going to do the Affordable Care Act. And it's like, okay, Susie, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, so but you're going to talk so down about Obamacare and you don't even realize that they are one and the same.
Are you embarrassed to be so silly?
So
stupid. I mean, what? I mean, anyway.
Yes, Javier said they will take our comments, they will take our responses and make our community a monolith based on that personal and individual response. Exactly. That is the problem. Monolith, one mind, one mind.
I know.
Okay. No, because before, whatever. I was just trying to help.
No, for real, thank you.
But no, it's true. Like, oh, well, this is how all black people think. This is what all black people feel.
Right.
This is what all black people. It's like, no, that's just me. That's just how I feel.
Right.
You know, whatever.
Personally. I can have personal feelings.
Exactly.
It doesn't mean that I speak for the community.
Yeah. I don't always speak for the community, but when I do, it's gonna be good.
It's gonna be right.
Exactly. Okay, so Samuel said, "Oh my gosh, Huckleberry Finn was read to us in junior year. I often look back, why the hell was that a thing? The number of times the N-word was uttered. Huckleberry, like I said, Huckleberry Finn is the worst. Like, To Kill a Mockingbird is bad, but Huck Finn, it was like, what is the point of this book? Like, literally, we don't care about this story at all.
Right.
It's not, there are so many better literary works than this. We don't need that." And Javier said, you know why it gave them the justification to say the word in the name of scholarly work.
In the name of scholarly work.
Boom. They were racist too.
Everybody.
And he said, yes, the teacher read it aloud to us, the whole book. You know, that I would have been.
We do not care.
I would have been busting tables down. Do you understand?
Yes.
Like, it would have been a whole...
Over.
Yeah, my dad said, in 1973, I fought the same fight in high school over Tom Sawyer and Huck Finn. Only 2 black kids in the class. I was sent to the office immediately. The book wasn't read from that day forward.
Wow.
It takes somebody to take
Go,
a stand.
Dad.
You know what I mean?
Freaking civil rights activism at its finest. Yes. Okay.
You see where we get it from.
Okay.
We out here.
Militant.
April real militant, okay?
I am.
I didn't know, huh?
No, but you doing it. You doing it.
Yes. Dad told me that story when I was in high school too, when we started having to read Huck Finn. He was like, actually, I did something great.
Right.
Okay, Mom said, I'm referring to a black union rep in a leadership position. Will try to encourage support from all the races to keep the union wages and benefits. Most often, the other races felt the black leadership was not needed for them, like the vaccine and Obamacare. They don't really need the help. It's for you and I. Understood? I feel like I just got in trouble.
You did.
April said she didn't understand. It wasn't me. Get off her.
We understand that now. Definitely understand.
Yeah, does that make sense? Yes.
Yes.
Okay, Mom was responding to somebody and she's like, that's exactly right. Okay. Samuel said, back to corporate. It takes me too long to get accepted by the black folks because I'm busy sounding like an op until you have a one-on-one conversation with me. Very black, very down for the cause, about my people at all times, beloved. Just playing a game to get these coins proper.
I understand.
But that's the problem. It's code switching, right? You know, it's like, I don't want to have to play the game. I should be able to be myself and still be accepted.
Right.
And still get the same respect.
Right.
And not have to worry about switching code because I don't want to make you feel uncomfortable,
right,
or make you feel like I can't do my job, or make you feel like I am inadequate or whatever.
Right.
Like, you shouldn't have to code switch.
Right. But then also,
It's
feel like
exhausting.
I feel like the black people that have been, you know, so a new black person gets hired, and like you said, you go to the job, and now you sound, you know, like,
oh no, I sound like this though. Well, good. I'm glad.
Right. But I'm saying, like, I often hear that the black people shun the new black person.
Oh my
it's like there's
gosh.
only 6 of us. Why are you
do.
being mean to me?
Yeah.
Why are you
Yeah.
doing that to me? Like,
Yeah.
I just want to fit in. Y'all going to lunch and hey, she
It
ain't coming with us.
happens
Why?
all the time.
Why are you doing that?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you be like, girl, come on over here. Let me tell you, this one you want to look out for her. That one over there, she's super nosy, so don't tell her even if you have a sniffle, because she gonna try to tell you. This one, why aren't we helping each other? Instead, we shun each other and we treat each other poorly, and then and you have to work your way in. So not only did you have to freaking bust the door down to get up in this corporate piece, now you gotta be, bust the door down to break into the black clique. Like,
Yeah.
what?
It's exhausting.
Why are we doing
guys.
this to each other?
It's true.
True life story. That's the facts.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's true. It took me a long time. At the last company I was at, the last company, she's super.
Yeah,
it's for real
Give
though.
me the
Like,
business. Don't just have. I worked one corporate job, and I was like, I did.
could you imagine?
I know.
It was a
terrible.
straight nightmare.
It was a nightmare.
I'm only late because I had to take my kid to school.
I'm only late because I was working my real job, and this is a cover-up because I need health insurance. Duh. This is before, thank you, Obama. Okay? This was before Affordable Health Care Act.
Yeah.
This is before Obamacare.
It's facts.
So I had to get like a corporate job in order to
Get that good
insurance.
that you needed. You know what I mean?
Me and
This
my
is
son
before
needed.
you became a whole mogul. But you know what? You here now.
Yeah. So, but the point is that yes, I did do that, and I remember feeling like weird, like high school weird. My first day of work, first day of high school. That's what it felt like.
Last hired, first fired. Exactly that.
Yeah, that's exactly what. Hey, let me tell you something. They got their pay. Mm-hmm. They got their due. I did my job, and hey, that was it. But it was true. Like I literally could not wait to be done there.
Yeah.
It was the hardest thing I've ever done.
Yeah. You're not a good work for somebody else person. Just be honest.
Why?
Yeah.
That wasn't why.
Okay.
It was just the expectations of the corporation on top of feeling the pressure at the water cooler.
Yeah. It
People
is a
are
lot.
mean.
People, aw.
I
This
know,
is becoming
I'm
so sad.
Unpacking my trauma.
Okay. Well, I will talk to you about it after.
Thanks, Dad.
Okay.
Whatever.
It's okay.
I'm
But
telling
it
you
is a
guys.
real, it's a real thing. It's a real feeling. It's a real pressure, real stress.
Yeah.
To feel that at work. It's like no matter where you go. Like, so I'm not going to be accepted by, I had to fight to get in here. And now you probably had to do the same fight.
Right.
And now we can't even talk
We can't be
because
friends.
you feel
Threatened.
by me. Like, I don't know what is it, There could be many reasons. But anyway. Okay. Because we are getting really
Off track.
No. It all has to do with health. It all has
does.
to do with mental health.
It
like
does.
it's all along the same lines. Okay, so I guess the only thing I remember from Tom Sawyer was that Ninja Turtle getting other people to whitewash that effing fence. I don't even remember.
I don't know.
I purposely.
I'm like, there was a Ninja Turtle in there?
Yeah, when Caleb started reading To Kill a Mockingbird, I was like, oh yeah, Boo Radley. Oh yeah. Like I just was like, because I didn't subscribe. I didn't think it was that wonderful. I'm just gonna be honest. We had to read it. It was cool. At the time, I was like, oh, it's okay. But now, just they could read so many. Oh, gosh.
So many better books.
Anyway, he said, "Oh no, I sound like this though." Yeah. I think you're kind of reading these. Mm-hmm. Melly said, "Right, we should help each other more." I feel you. I agree.
Yeah.
We should.
It's hard.
Javier said it's because of the white gaze. Our presence is already pushing the envelope, and we internalize racist practices to survive because of the fear of being replaced. all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
And then you work extra hard because you don't want them to be able to replace you.
Right. So
It's
that's why
like-
you got 4 phones, and you answering all of them at the same time,
Yeah.
trying to keep up, because you don't want to be replaceable.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, replace me, because when I come back,
You're going to come back.
I'm gonna replace this company.
Okay.
It's gonna be called April Marie's.
Okay.
Period. That's on period.
Dad said 1 is okay, not a threat, but 2 or more black folks at one time,
That's right.
fear kicks in. They can't take competition. It's very real. Like, fear does kick in. It's like, oh wait, now there's more. Now there's, now they're infiltrating our space. You
Right.
know.
Just like why they keep,
Well, I get why they don't though. All skin folk ain't kinfolk. That's so real. You can't bring everybody in. You can't sponsor everybody. Everybody don't have access to the room.
That's true.
You gotta get a key card. No, I'm just kidding.
Right.
But everybody don't have access.
Some rooms you gotta have a thumbprint DNA sample.
But then they're not kinfolk.
That's true. I'm just
think
saying those rooms are.
This analogy took a left turn.
It did. The analogy went left. I'm sorry, guys.
Okay, no,
I'm
but
just trying to
seriously
say,
though,
we gotta
you
be
can't bring
exclusive at
everybody
some
up
point.
because you vouch for people and they're the wrong people, and that's your tail on the line.
Right.
It's hard because you gotta know. It's almost like you gotta vet them. Like you can't just be like, oh, well,
Welcome.
they're black and they need a job, so I'm gonna vouch for them and hire them. It's like, okay, we still have to use discernment
But I think
on
that
who needs to be where. But
Right.
that's just with everything.
I feel like once that person is on your level and you see them walk into the room and now they're on your team, because that's
Yeah.
how corporate works.
Absolutely.
And you're like mean to them. You'll even side with Susie and them and be talking to Susie.
That's
but you
the
won't
worst.
talk to, her. And I'm not saying make them your cousin.
I want to know what name you're going to
I
use
was
for
about
her.
to say TT, but then I was like,
No,
I don't want her to be
not
TT,
TT.
because TT, she don't have that job with them. I mean, she does. Okay, she does.
She might.
But she's TT at home. She's, to Trishelle at work, her real name, whatever that is.
Uh-huh.
Jesse, what? You in the hand?
Hey. Okay, so Mom said, well, in all truth, blacks. Listen, I love it, Mom. Blacks. Okay, well, in all truth, blacks don't always want to listen to other blacks. That's
Black
Yeah.
people.
that's your situation. I'm hanging over here with the others, so that situation is for you. I'm better. I'm hanging with them all, so I don't need your protection or insider info. That's very true.
That's very true.
That's very true.
That's the same way I feel sometimes about interracial relationships.
Okay, we're not gonna go into that right now.
Okay.
That's a totally different
Keep me
day.
on task.
That's
When we talk
totally
about
different.
race, it's so broad spectrum for me.
Yeah. Well, we were talking about like mental health, but it's cool.
We are. And that's
But-
ailing on my mental health sometimes.
Okay.
I do feel like
Samuel
that.
said, "I love us for real, but not every. I'm not everybody's cousin. That's facts.
That's facts.
That's facts. And
Yes.
you know what? I hate that. Hey sis.
Right.
Oh,
Sometimes
Oh.
this is condescending.
it can be.
It
Okay,
can
but
be.
we're getting off topic again. But I don't like that because now you're doing that on purpose. Okay, you're trying to make it to where we have a connection. And we
But
just might
a lot
not.
of it is like covert, just under the table, mean. Because they're really trying to just like make you look stupid or feel stupid.
Intense. All right, mental health is wealth, ladies and gentlemen. This mental health is wealth. Okay, Javier said, and then they end up replacing us anyway. So, like, F the system. We got to support each other from the get-go. You know what? I feel it.
Right.
I feel it. We said hi to Jesse, who's late. I'm just kidding.
Ooh.
And then Javier said, don't got to make them your cousin, but provided a bridge as a mentor. Exactly. That can be a way to bring them in as a mentor, maybe not a sponsor, because we learn the difference a little better.
Right.
So I may not, I'm going to hire you. You're going to do the interview. I might move your, let me not say that too loud. I might move your resume up, because I'm like, I'm going to give them a chance. They're qualified.
Right.
They,
I'm
are
gonna put your
applying for
resume
this.
next to the other ones instead of putting it under the other ones.
Equity. Facts.
I'm just going to make it equal.
You're going to get the same opportunity
Same
as
opportunity,
everybody
same
else.
treatment.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Samuel was responding to what you was talking about with the interracial, and he's like, "Ooh." So that's another layer.
It is.
Check the spouse. Logs off.
Listen.
Dad said to vouch for someone is one thing. You still have to work because the door is open. You have to keep the job. Yeah. So it's a lot to vouch for someone. Like, people ask me all the time, like, "Oh, is your job hiring?" I'm like, they may be, like, you should go on and look, to vouch for someone is one thing. And like, at my old job, it was like, well, you brought them here. Like, they would literally like say that to some people. And it's like, oh man, like, oof, and now they're underperforming. Now they're not
I brought them here, but you hired them.
That's your response?
That's my response. Yeah, you said you needed people. I brought people. Now, the fact that you hired somebody who's inadequate, that's on you.
Wow, you're
that person?
You're that person. Huh?
Yeah, because you're not going to put undue pressure on me. I mean, what the heck? I'm supposed to check their resume and be like, yeah, they're amazing.
You brought their resume to my desk.
I didn't bring the resume. I just gave the name. You said you needed people. I brought you some people.
Yeah.
Now, right. I'm not trying to say like I completely vouch for this person and their character and their job performance. I don't know all of that. You just said you needed people. So my cousin's here and it's people. Now, what she
and me
does
and my
with
cousin
this opportunity is on her. It's completely separate.
Yeah. That's true. That is.
That's another layer of them putting that pressure on you. If Susie brings Sally and Sally sucks, they're going to be like, we're probably going to have to cut Sally. And Susie's like, I know, she's not pulling her weight. Like, you're not going to be like, well, you brought her here and she's underperforming. Like, that's not my job to make sure she performs. That's your job.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're not going to do that to me. Exactly why I'm not in corporate America. This is it. This is it. I'm my own attorney. I'm telling my boss, like, yes, I was late, but if you weren't only paying me $14 an hour, whatever this is. Listen, funny story. When I got my first check as a worker, I worked for
a company. As an employee
like
of another corporation.
It was the worst ever.
She was
and
the worst
I believe
ever.
in working. I believe in working hard and working, having a job. So you work your job and what your pay is your business. And I believe in everyone having their own business. Just like Tabitha. Okay? Have your business. Do your thing. However.
Tabitha Brown. Okay.
However, when I received my first check after being a veteran in the hair industry.
These white women names, say their best.
Yes. Sally and Susie.
Susie K.
When I received my first check, I believe it was like $600 for the week.
After all the taxes came out.
After the taxes and my insurance and stuff like that came out. Mm-hmm. After being a veteran in the hair industry where you can make tons of money.
You don't want to say a number, did you?
No, I don't want to say a number because I don't want to know. I'm not nobody's sugar mama. You know what I'm saying? I ain't out here.
That's bad.
Sugar. Okay. But where you can make tons of money in a day, right?
So basically, you're saying more than $600 in a day.
It's a possibility.
And
depends on your work ethic. You
facts.
understand? So I felt like I gave my all. I did training.
She did feel that way.
I was showing up. I dressed. You feel me? I was attentive in class. They had us taking tests and things. They had us doing
during the
work.
training. During the training, might I add.
Doing work. I'm typing. You know what I'm saying? at the end of training, they had us actually taking customer phone calls.
What?
I'm handling your corporate
They
business.
did.
Okay.
They had you taking
They
phone
had us
calls
working,
too?
girl, working.
Girl.
And when they handed me my check, I thought it was a misprint. I got up from my desk. I said, who? Where? I said, oh, no. Oh, no. $600. I said, is this what you're paying people? Other people, besides me. Listen, I'm telling you guys my truth.
Can anybody
inner
tell
feelings.
she was totally a theatrics person?
Where? Who is supposed to feed their family? And this was real. This was people like, yeah, I got paid this, pay that. And I'm like, let me tell you, everybody, line up outside. We're going to beauty school right now. Right now, I'm taking you to beauty school so you can see the check. What the check is supposed to. I was so devastated.
Yeah.
I was so devastated because, and so this is when I said, forget this job. I'm about to do my clients before I come in here. And if I'm a couple minutes late, they're going to have to deal with me. Now, that's just it. Because you will not slave me out, okay? Come in here and you have me taking people's houses and things on the phone, dealing with poor Pam and Todd. And they're crying on the phone and I'm trying to help them. You understand? And I'm stressed, trying to meet quota, trying to take houses.
Bro, trying to take houses.
And you gonna pay me pittance? Oh my God. When I tell you, I was devastated, not for myself only, because this was a side hustle. You understand?
Pam and Todd.
Listen, this was a side hustle because I needed health insurance for my son and myself. But this was not my main.
Right.
So,
this is a means to an end.
right. So I'm like, all right,
Because
hey.
health insurance was way too high.
Listen, it was way too high at that time.
Yeah.
I said, listen, I'm about to hustle this. All right. What I came here for, I'm getting. I'm getting this health insurance. We own. I'm not giving them anything else. Matter of fact, I'm not even gonna think. You can clock in a few minutes early and sit at your desk. Give yourself time to sit and get acclimated with your workstation and log in right on time. I said, you not paying me for acclimation. I will log in. I mean, I would slide. I'm in. That's it. You only getting those minutes. I'm not coming here early. Because when I'm done with that client, I'm literally throwing on my dress, running out the door so that I can get to the bank. And usually, honey, okay, I'm going to tell you, that's why I got fired. I would be 2 minutes, 1 minute, 5 minutes late. And this went on. This went on. I think they kept me. It was grace. You understand? It was God's grace that kept me on longer. I was working at Bank of America. That kept me on
the home
loans division. It was the grace of God that kept me on longer than, because listen, when the boss called me and she said, I'm going to tell y'all are not ready for this. I get a ping on my thing. Hey, April, whatever her name is, I can't remember, wants to see you.
She's in rare form tonight, Samuel. Let me tell you.
Listen.
She is storytelling mode tonight.
They said, they pinged me on my thing. I said, she wants to see me. Wait, see me? I know what this is. They finna let me go, but they ain't mailing me my stuff. I'm taking I was pulling my snacks, putting them in my purse. Because I knew I was getting fired.
And you saw people being escorted out
without their stuff, and the security coming in. I said, oh no, you're not gonna pack my desk. I know what this is about. And I packed my own things, and they're like, oh no. Oh no, this is them. No. My direct supervisor came over. I was having to go to the other people, the big people, whatever, the boss or whatever. And so the direct supervisor came over. Oh, no, you don't need to take your things. I said, oh, no, you don't need to tell me what I need to take. I know exactly what this is. And I'm taking my things with me. I know that you're trying to fire me, and that's okay because I'm done here anyway. And that's literally how I left. I grabbed everything everything I had, and I walked into the...
You about to lose your job.
Right. And I was walking to the office like, I'm about to lose my job. And, okay. Because I knew, but I needed them for a means to an end.
Yes.
And after I had those things done, I was like, all right, bet. Like, it was a good run. You know what I'm saying? We did our best here. You know, this is all I had for you. I gave
Got the insurance we needed.
Got the surgery done. Got my thyroid in check. I was no longer crazy. You know, I had medication. We were set. I said, all right, that Cobra gonna kick in right about now. I can, you know, get that for another 6 months. We're good.
Cobra,
good.
Mm-hmm.
So my point for telling you guys that story is that,
It's straight
my
up story
point for
time.
telling that story is that they will work your butt, pay you pittance with these great expectations
Come on.
of doing things that are out of your character, out of your moral compass. I literally I'm not taking people's houses, giving them 0 options. I'm like, wait a minute. Like, can we do something for... No. What? Are you freaking kidding me? Then you tell them. You tell them then. Because this is painful. It's crazy.
Yeah.
You know? And so they had a high turnover rate for the collections department anyway, because people would be like, I'm done here. This is crazy. But yes, that is why I quit corporate America. I was late. I knew they was coming for me. I packed my own desk right there. And what you gonna do? I'm taking my stuff. And anyway, I did something else crazy. But needless to say.
You did something else crazy?
Yeah.
You got on the loudspeaker?
No. You're supposed to leave your...
Okay, do we need... Is this going to get you
No.
arrested or something? Like,
no. I had... Okay, so because I'm very organized, and when I'm reading information and stuff like that, I needed to be like succinct and da-da-da-da. So I had bought all these like slip covers for my material. Super petty, you guys, super petty. So I had bought this folder, and everything was perfect, and I had lined it and put everything in it. Right. Miss Madeline, yes. I had put all my stuff in there, and it was perfect. So I grabbed everything, and my boss said, oh no, you have to leave that folder. And I said, excuse me? And she said, you have to leave that folder because that is company property. I said, this is not company property. This is mine. Now, what's in it is company property. And if you'd like that, I can take that out. And she said, well, most people, I don't care what most people do. And let me tell you something else. I'm not giving this horrible company another dime, any type of, I'm going to leave, this penny fell out of my purse, I'm picking it up on my way out. So I sat there and I took every sheet of paper out of my slip folders. This folder was like this thick, you guys. And I was not having it. I said, oh, no. And you're not keeping my slip covers either. Because when my son is old enough to go to school, he might be able to use these, huh? Okay, so I took them out and I left her stack of papers there. I folded up all the rest of my stuff, and that is how I walked out of there. And I said, I'm also going to close all my accounts that have the name of this bank on it. Because this bank here is trash. I meant that. I'm telling you guys, I had the worst experience.
I know.
There, my mom is laughing. She worked for the same company, and it was horrible. It was horrible.
Yeah.
So that is my story. That's my corporate America story. I left there that day, and I went to a hair salon that my friend owned. Mm-hmm. And I was like, do you have room? And she said, yeah, for you, come on. And I literally started back at the salon that next day. Because, yeah.
April had time that day.
I was so petty. Ooh, but I couldn't take it. And I did. I closed every account I had with that bank. I said, I will not.
As if you didn't already say the bank name.
Right, bitch. B of A. B of A. And I'm like, and while we was working there, they didn't have to change their name 3 times because of lawsuits. They They went from Bank of America to Bank of America NA to Bank of America NAC to Bank of... I said, dog. They said, oh, no. We were listening to your calls. You said Bank of America NA. I said, well, what is it? You know, last week it was Bank of America. Now this week is NA. Now next week, what is the name of the place that I work for? How do we not know this? Because you're trifling. You're doing backhanded stuff. Y'all.
All
Okay.
right. Anyway, before they start coming for you.
Listen. Before they cancel my live forever. It was a nightmare, but my point is that they will put pressure on you to perform, not pay you, not care about your mind, not care about your body, not care about anything else but their bottom line.
Right.
Now, I don't have great expectations for them, but I have great expectations for us to know when our time is up as far as what you can take and what you can't take. If you can take any more, if you are tired, you need to take a moment and get you some self-care.
That's facts.
Period. So I don't have great expectations for big corporations. I don't expect them to stop the wheel and say, go ahead, April, get off. No. But if I need to get off, I'm going to jump off this mother. You know why? Because there's only one me. And I only have so much time here. And I'm not about to
Waste it.
or die trying to prove myself to a wheel.
I'm gonna
A
say it's
system.
a hamster wheel. Yeah.
To the system.
Yeah.
I'm just not going to do it.
Absolutely.
And I don't think any of us should. I'm not encouraging anyone to quit their jobs. Let me put that disclaimer. I'm not telling anybody
You're off.
to.
We watched it live last night.
Right.
And
We
now
feel inspired.
we
No. I'm encouraging you, though, to know your breaking point. I'm encouraging you to do some self-thought, self-check-ins, because just like our friend and our sisters, you know, Cutie Pie, I'm looking at her little picture, Simone Biles, she knew that she was struggling, and she said, I need a break. Publicly.
She said F your system, too.
F your system, bro.
I'm still a GOAT.
I'm still a GOAT.
I'm going to be the GOAT forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that is a win.
Yeah.
That's a gold medal.
Wow.
That was.
That's beautiful. Let's give it up for Ava Marie and her story time. You feel me? Like, she deserves all the
my
claps
God.
right now. Okay? Man,
Thank
she was out here. That was
guys.
too good. And then she ended with something real poetic, too.
I mean, it kind of applied. But thank you, Stephanie.
It applied.
I just want, I'm serious, though. That was, that, yeah.
Yeah.
You need to know.
And Javier said, I hate working retail for that reason.
Oh,
Poor,
yeah.
mistreated, overworked, and jaded.
Oh.
For
I
real.
feel terrible. Retail, I feel terrible for people that work retail. That folding, stacking. I mean, you have people come through and wreck shop
I know. We used to
on
stop
purpose.
the kid. I remember Michael worked at like Sears, right?
Yeah, he worked at
And
Sears.
he used to, oh my gosh, be like, oh.
My brother, he worked at Sears for a while in
Yeah, when
It
he was
was-
young. But like,
retail. And my mom worked retail for years.
yeah, it's hard.
I've
You know,
never-
the little kids.
Never had the pleasure.
But then from our
Right.
experience with people who we know who work retail, we also knew how to better act in
Oh,
retail
yeah.
stores too. Like how, like, you know, kids like to go and run and lay in their beds and stuff.
No,
Oh.
don't do that. Don't
Okay.
do that. Don't do that.
I definitely even have those beds out anymore because of COVID.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
Oh, you mean, girl, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about retail like Macy's in the kids department or the shoe department.
I was talking about that too.
Now I get what you're talking about, them beds.
The ones that were made up.
Yeah, they
And-
still have them. Okay?
You like to lay in them?
I don't lay in them.
Oh.
I just love how they're made up. I often
Yeah.
touch them because they're beautiful, and I
Yeah.
love high thread count sheets.
Hint, hint, her birthday's in September. Got a few months to save up to buy some. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, self-care, right?
Self-care.
Um,
Well,
Yeah.
Okay, it's
been on for
12:05.
like over 2 hours.
It's 12:05.
But it's been so much fun.
It has been fun. And I just want to let you guys know that I love you and appreciate you. And that I'm rooting for you to care for yourself.
Yes.
And I hope that you guys are rooting for me to do the same. And that I'm definitely, after this big show that I'm doing at the end of August, going to be taking some self-care time. Because
A break.
I need a break. So I don't break.
Yeah.
I need,
You
a break.
break so you don't break.
Right.
Dang, that's good. That's
I
like
know
snap.
that is. It's like, oh.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, we're out here.
We out
Look
here.
at both of our nails,
I know.
too.
I was like, oh, the nail game is
cute.
what it is. Oh, yeah. Yes, great conversation. Thank you so much, Miss Madeline.
Yeah, thank you guys
rest
for like
easy, too.
sticking
Good
with
night.
us.
Yes.
Y'all were just with us.
With all our antics.
Yes.
I appreciate you, Javier. Thank you so much for joining us as well. Miss Cynthia, Mom, Dad, everybody who graced the room, Melody, Jesse,
Samuel.
Mom, yes, Samuel, everybody. I love you guys. I really do.
Love
The
you
conversation
too,
would not be the same without you.
Yeah.
We do these lives because we're here with you.
Yeah.
So, what were you going to say? Because what?
No, I was just gonna say, like, once again, care for yourself. Take time for yourself. Do things that make you happy. You know, be surrounded by people who make you happy.
Right.
All of those things contribute to a greater quality of life.
Yeah.
And that's the goal, right?
That's the goal.
Like, I totally want to live like the highest quality of life. Like, I want to enjoy every aspect of my life, and I can't do that if I'm
Sad.
and bogged
Emotionally
down
broken.
and stressed, and it's just not it.
not.
It's not it.
No.
It's not where we want to be, not where we need to be, and
We can do better.
We can do better. So take time for yourself. Show yourself some grace, because I said that recently, which is why I had a burger tonight, but we're not going to go into that. Show yourself some grace.
Right.
And, you know, just,
Yeah. So,
Breathe
Tuesday.
because handle her with care.
Handle with care.
Handle with care.
Yes.
Isn't she so cute?
She's so cute. Oh my gosh. And again, I have patches.
Hold
right?
it up closer.
Okay. It's
Isn't that so
backwards,
cute?
but it's a patch. It is a sew-on patch because it is like silk woven material. It
Oh,
really
so
is so
cute.
soft. And on top of it being this silk woven material, I was like, I can't make it an iron-on because if you iron it on, it's going to lose its, like quality.
Yeah.
And so anyway.
So she sewed it on her cute little backpack.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to show you guys next week. I'll probably post
And
some
the
pictures.
bomber, oh my God, and a bomber jacket.
A bomber jacket.
The jacket is so fly.
Coming soon to the website.
Oh, you're going to be
I
selling
am
jackets?
I'm gonna have some cute additions with patchwork only. Yeah, I'm gonna have a patch line. Anyway, enough about that.
Mogul talk.
Ugh.
Cloth talk.
Yes.
Just kidding.
Yes. Okay, but I love you guys. Remember,
Yes.
Sex Gotta Raising Kids Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday nights at 9 p.m. I am here this week at 10 p.m. on Wednesday nights, and then sometimes my favorite co-host joins me and we have a great conversation. You guys have been freaking awesome this entire time. We appreciate you. Yes, that sugar mama talk. Okay. I love y'all. Stay safe this week. If you need a break, take it because you're worth it. We love you.
We love you.
Peace. Bye. Good night, Samuel.